So you're thinking about moving to Spokane, Washington. Well, grab your popcorn because this is going to be the most extensive overview of Spokane neighborhoods. We're going to hit 8 of the most trendiest neighborhoods. And in this video, we're going to take you around. We're going to start with the computer and show you a kind of a tour via Google. And then we're going to put you in the car and drive you through some of the neighborhoods in Spokane so you can kind of get boots on the ground, see how things feel, what's nearby, what shopping and stuff is around it. We hope you enjoy the video. We've put quite a bit of time into getting footage for it, and we are going to get to it right now. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about Spokane and North Idaho and the surrounding areas for both Spokane and North Idaho, then hit the subscribe button, tap the like button. Better yet, tap that notifications button so you can be the first to get to know anything new for the Spokane, North Idaho market. My name's Kirk, I'm here with the team, and we get calls and emails from people just like you, and you each day. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Better yet, hit that Zoom link for a face-to-face interview so we can kind of dial in what you're looking for and help you make that smooth move to Spokane or North Idaho. As I mentioned, we are covering the top 8 neighborhoods today, the most trendiest neighborhoods in Spokane, Washington. It's going to be a longer video, so buckle up, grab that popcorn, and let's jump into it and get started right now. Okay, we're in my computer here. As you can see, we got Google Maps opened up here, and we are going to zoom out so we can get our bearings here. You can see where we're at. So basically you got Spokane right here. Most of the neighborhoods we're going to feature are all within that 20-30 minute range in this video. As you head east from Spokane, you go all the way over here to Coeur d'Alene, and you got Coeur d'Alene Lake. And that's going to be a 30-45 minute drive to Coeur d'Alene depending on traffic. And then you got your main highway, Highway 2, going out of town. Merges into actually splits into 395 Highway 2, goes all the way to Canada. And then you got Highway 2 right here, West Spokane, Airway Heights, heading out west. And if you took I-90 all the way west, you hit Seattle. Our first kind of things to do in Spokane, you've got Kendall Yards, which is one of those neighborhoods we're going to talk about in the Spokane vlog, but it is a trendy new neighborhood, downtown Spokane. Basically, let me draw it here. Basically kind of all this neighborhood and then is adjacent to the Spokane River, and they really laid it out nice so that everything is walking, biking distance to the Spokane River, downtown area, all the shops, everything. And then as we move northward here, you've got one of the big event areas is the Spokane Arena right here, and that attracts all the concerts, big concerts that come through, the rodeo. You've got the hockey team that plays there, Spokane Chiefs, and then we also have the AFL Football League. I'm not sure if they still got a team this year, but previous years have been the Spokane Shocks. Pretty fun to watch. That's where they play. As we move to the kind of downtown district, kind of the west district here, you've got the Knitting Factory, the Fox Theater, all located down here in this section, Bing Crosby Theater, and then you got the Convention Center over here, more event centers, venues that for the arts and concerts that come through downtown. And if you're looking to kind of stay and spend the night and do some of these events, some of the cool hotels are the historic Davenport Collection, and they've got the original one is a early 1800s hotel that's been remodeled, all modern, super cool. And then they've got some brand new ones they've built in that collection as well for fun stay and play to enjoy some of the events that go on. Of course, in the heart of Spokane, you've got Riverfront Park, which is basically this whole area here surrounded by the Spokane River. And back in '74, when the World Expo came here, they kind of leveled everything that was here prior and made a beautiful park that That's really fun to use, and they got events that come, concerts. They've got a Pig Out in the Park event that goes on in the summer, as an example, where they get all the food vendors to come in one place, and kind of a neat place to take your family and enjoy the day at the park. And then, of course, you've got the Spokane River, kind of zoom out, comes out here at Coeur d'Alene Lake and runs all the way through Post Falls, Liberty Lake, and then north of Spokane Valley, all the way to downtown Spokane. And when you hit downtown Spokane, the elevation on the river starts to drop, and you got lots of nice falls and scenic checkpoints and places to access the river that are pretty cool. And then you've got the Northwest Museum Arts and Culture here too. That is a fun place to take the family and tour if you get time when you're in Spokane. We are going to go ahead and give you a neighborhood drive-by tour of the Spokane downtown district, so you can kind of see what's there, some of the shops, things to do, and we're going to get to that right now. Okay, we are at our first stop, which is Mead, Washington. And as you can see, we got it up here on the map. And kind of give you an idea, it's the red dotted lines here is kind of the technical boundaries for Mead. And you can kind of get your bearings here. You got Spokane down here. So looking at 30-minute plus drive, depending on which way you go, up to Mead, and then you got Spokane, Idaho border, state line border right there. To be honest with you, most people consider Mead kind of a bigger swath of land. I would say most of Mead's going to be up here grabbing Colbert and the parts of Green Bluff and even down kind of hugging 395. So bigger local, most of the locals would consider that the Mead area. But you're getting a lot of neighborhoods, suburban neighborhoods in Mead, but then you also pick up a lot of acreage properties, especially as you head over here to Green Bluff, which is mostly farms, orchards, apple farms, pumpkin patches, cornfields, also everything fruit is grown over in Green Bluff. And one of the neat things about Green Bluff is in the fall, you can come pick apples, apple cider, fresh apple cider, pick pumpkins. They do a big kind of harvest party for the kids. Some of my favorite, pumpkin donuts. The line literally lines up along 206 here to get into some of those. But trendy area, fun place to go in the fall and Christmas time too to pick your trees. As far as things to do in Mead, downtown Mead itself is not really much. You've got your Yolks Fresh Market grocery store, which is popular, local to the area. And you got a Maverick gas station. Moving up Highway 2, you got Cattail's Wildlife Center, which is the local zoo, really the only zoo I think in Spokane, and they've got exotic cats there, which is kind of fun to take the kids to and enjoy the day there. Moving up Highway 2, you got Colbert here, little bedroom community of Mead, and then you've got the Northside Family Aquatics facility, which is kind of a cool location here. You got basically neighborhoods all in here, newer homes, and the county came in and put the facility, this pool facility with splash pads and everything. It's quite large. That it's kind of fun for some of the families and things that live up that direction. As far as the commute from Mead, it's going to kind of depend which route you take here, but if you got to work in Spokane, there's really not any shortcuts. Traffic is pretty congested, mainly because we just don't have a north-south freeway installed fully yet. The north-south freeway is basically Highway 2, which is where all the businesses are till it splits here, and it's super congested. You could be 30-40 minute commute depending on traffic and stuff. So something to be aware of there. They have new funding to finish. Right now, this is the brand new north-south freeway, but they've only got half of it done. But they just received, like I said, a new round of funding that will hopefully finish the rest of it, which will come basically right there. They've moved all the homes. As far as they know, it's just literally finishing the construction. But big project. Once that's in, that'll alleviate and ease the commute times going north into some of these areas that is pretty bogged down right now. If you got to go to the valley, much easier as far as commute stuff. You're going to want to basically, there's a couple shortcuts you can cut over here and kick out Spokane Valley, get on I-90, and if you're commuting to Coeur d'Alene or Spokane Valley, much shorter commutes, taking some of those back roads there. So something to be aware of living in Mead. As far as schools, Mead are some of the most requested schools we get from people and our buyers. Where they want to land is Mead schools. They've got 2 high schools in there, Mount Spokane and Mead High School, some fairly new junior highs, good ratings, so definitely an area to look at if you're focusing on schools. But I think that's really all we wanted to cover here for Mead. Let's hop in the car and take you to drive you through some of the neighborhoods so you can get a feel for what they look like and what's out there, and we'll get to that right now. Mead is in an unincorporated suburban census designated place north of Spokane in Spokane County, Washington. Named for the Civil War general George Mead, this rural area is tracked by the United States Census Bureau. As of 2010, the population of Mead was 7,275. In 1900, Mead was the second stop on the Spokane Falls and Northern Railway. The community included Cushing and Bryant General Store, a blacksmith shop, a public school with approximately 60 students, and a Sunday school. At the time, the post office was located in the Cushing and Bryant store. Mead is home to Kaiser Aluminum Mead Works, which was operated as a leading aluminum employer from 1942 until curtailment in 2001. Since its closure, the plant has been bought by a developer in Spokane that has planned to do a master plan community of homes in the Mead area. Okay, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the neighborhood tour of Mead. We are now back in my computer here and looking at the town of Airway Heights. And to give you an idea, the lay of the land here, you got Spokane, downtown Spokane here. And if you head directly west on I-90, you'll kick over on Highway 2 and that'll take you out to Airway Heights. I'd say about 10 minutes. Traffic's super light going out that direction. If you're working at the big draw out there, which is Fairchild Air Force Base. Zoom in here, zoom out, it's quite large. So you got Spokane Fairchild Air Force Base right here. You got Spokane International Airport. And then here are the city borders of Airway Heights. As far as the base goes, they've got 5,200 active duty service men and women out there for the B-52s, refueling jets. We've helped a lot of military people with housing and selling their homes and relocating. So definitely give us a call if you're in the military. We love working with the military folks out there. Other areas that we'll do other videos on that are nice to consider is Cheney, Medical Lake. Got Cheney out here where Eastern Washington is, University, and then Medical Lake's over here. As far as the one of the most recent developments in Airway Heights is you've got the Amazon fulfillment center that just got built and is drawing quite a bit of jobs and stuff, and that's just over here in this section. It's been great for Spokane and kind of boosting the economy out in Airway Heights. Also, you've got Northern Quest Casino Resort, which is just right here, and that's a big casino that's been developed out there. They've got concert venue area too. We're getting a lot of concerts coming through there. Great place if you want to stay overnight or the weekend. They've got Maslow Steakhouse, which is top-notch, a restaurant inside, and then of course they've got their own spa setup that's just really good too. So great place to have some fun. You've got, as far as shopping and things out in Airway Heights, I've got your grocery stores. Gonna all be kind of along this main drag here on Highway 2. It slows down and you get into all the restaurants and grocery stores. You got some hotels, Panda Express, Mud Pizza. You got Walmart. And I think they've got, North 40 Outfitters out there, which is kind of our local store. It's got Western wear, horse stuff, fishing gear, farm equipment, that kind of stuff. If you head west past Airway Heights, you start getting into a lot of acreage stuff. Basically, you got all this is acreage, and then you got Deep Creek that runs through here. Really nice acreage properties as you're staying kind of north of Highway 2 to look at if you're in the market for close in town, easy commute, acreage stuff. Don't get a ton of trees. It's pretty barren and kind of windy out here on the West Plains, but as you come north here, you start getting into trees, more creeks, that kind of stuff. But Airway Heights is taking off. I think kind of the only thing holding it back is they're kind of borrowing sewer, last I heard from Spokane, for some of these developments, and so they're working on the infrastructure for more city wells and sewer infrastructure so they can keep expanding, because they certainly got the land out there to do it. As far as some of the negatives for Airway Heights, I'd say it's probably the air traffic. You got an Air Force Base out there, you got Spokane International Airport, so you got planes flying over every day. People still like it out there. I've had property out there. You just kind of get used to it, like they say. You don't hear it anymore. In our other video, we mentioned the Spokane Racetrack Raceway, and I think that has actually closed right now. I believe Northern Quest bought it. I'm not sure what their plan is for that, but that may reopen. But that's been a popular draw out there for race car racing and alcohol drags and other stuff that is kind of fun to watch. Big positive though for Airway Heights is short commute to just kind of about anywhere in Spokane to enjoy the downtown restaurants and things to do. But we'll go ahead and let's hop in the car. We'll give you a tour of some of the neighborhoods of Airway Heights. A lot of new construction going out there, and we'll take you there right now. Airway Heights is a city in Spokane County, Washington, just west of Spokane. The population was 10,757 at the 2020 census. The city's name was taken from its close proximity to the runways at Fairchild Air Force Base and Spokane International Airport. Airway Heights was formed in 1942 and officially incorporated on June 28, 1955. Growth in the city was spurred by the opening of the Airway Heights Correction Center by Washington State Department of Corrections in 1992 and the opening of Northern Quest Resort and Casino by the Kalispel Indian Tribe in 2000. More recently, with the addition of new Walmart Center, several new apartment buildings and housing developments, the expansion of the Northern Quest Casino, and the opening of the Spokane Tribe Casino, Airway Heights is continuing to grow. Also, the Spokane County Raceway Park is located in Airway Heights and features major automobile events, including drag racing, stock car racing, and occasional monster truck shows. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total of 5.63 square miles, all of it in land. The majority of the city is within Cheney School District. The northeastern portion is in the Great Northern School District, grades K through 6. The closest hospital to the city is Deaconess Medical Center, located in downtown Spokane, and Sacred Heart. Healthcare services located in the city itself include the Airway Heights Dental Center, West Plains Chiropractor, and Apex Physical Therapy. Public transportation is managed by the Spokane Transit Authority. Bus Route 61, which serves Airway Heights, begins at the Transit Authority's main hub in downtown Spokane and extends to Fairchild Air Force Base. Spokane County Raceway is one of the largest racetracks in the Inland Northwest. It offers oval track racing, drag racing, and race course racing. Okay, hope you enjoyed the tour of Airway Heights. We're gonna head east now and take you up to the Moran Prairie / Palouse and give you an idea of what that neighborhood looks like. I've got it up on the map here, as you can see, and here's kind of the technical boundaries of Moran Prairie in red. So you got 37th Avenue to the north, Ferris High School, one of the major high schools on the South Hill, and then you've got to the border to the south is pretty much all of the Palouse area, and the Palouse is pretty big. I'll kind of show you here. It goes all the way down. Okay, so Palouse is basically everything south here, going all the way down into even Pullman, which is where Washington State University is. And most of this area is kind of rolling, beautiful hills with wheat fields and just some pretty awesome views that a lot of people have built acreage properties and stuff. So definitely something to consider if you're looking for acreage, and maybe not so much the pine trees and thick forests. You'll want to consider the South Hill Palouse area there as part of your search there. As far as schools, we touched a little bit, but you got District 81 in Moran Prairie, and then one of the schools we wanted to highlight that we get quite a few requests for is the Freeman School District, and that's kind of South Valley, part of the Palouse, but right here is the town of Freeman. Nothing hardly anything there. I think they have a gas station or something, but we get a lot of crests, small town feel there, smaller classrooms, and really good reviews for schools. So if you're looking for acreage, great place to look there. As far as the shopping and dining and everything, kind of got everything you need up on the South Hill, Moran Prairie area. 57th is one of the big main drags here. And of course, some of the highlights, you got Trader Joe's, you got Target, tons of restaurants. One of our favorite restaurants is the South Perry Pizza Place, which is more on the the lower part of the South Hill, but great place to get some pizza with the family. One of the nice things about Moran Prairie is the access to the 3 awesome golf courses. And so you've got Manitou Park, which is right here, and then as you kind of head past Comstock Park, you got Highland Drive, but you've got the sorry, I'm bouncing all over here, but the Manitou Golf and Country Club, which is a private club, and it's got the Ponderosa Pines in there, beautiful course, and then you got some housing that surrounds it. As you head west of there, you got the creek at Qualchan Golf Course, and Hangman Creek runs right through that. Just a beautiful setting. It's kind of on a plateau, and the holes kind of meander through there and hug the creek. And then lastly, coming south, you got the Latah Creek Golf Course, which is down here, again, nestled up against the Hangman Creek that flows through it. So if you're a golfer, short distance, pretty reasonable green fees to take advantage of some of that. I think that is pretty much everything we wanted to cover on Moran Prairie. So let's hop in the car, cruise around some of the neighborhoods. You can kind of get a feel for what you can expect out of Moran Prairie. Moran Prairie median real estate price is $536,810, which is more expensive than 51.5% of the neighborhoods in Washington and 76.3% of the neighborhoods in the U.S. The average rental price for Moran Prairie is currently $1,769 based on the Neighborhood Scouts exclusive analysis. Rents here are currently lower in price than 81.5% of Washington's neighborhoods. Moran Prairie is a suburban neighborhood based on population density located in Spokane, Washington. Moran Prairie real estate is primarily made up of medium-sized 3 or 4 bedrooms to large 4 or 5 bedroom homes and apartment complexes and high-rise apartments. Most of the residential real estate is owner-occupied. Many of the residents in the Moran Prairie neighborhood are established but not old, having been built between 1970 and 1999. A number of the residences were also built between 1940 and 1969. Real estate vacancies in Moran Prairie are at 6.2%, which is lower than one will find in 60.4% of American neighborhoods. Demand for real estate in Moran Prairie is above average for the U.S. and may signal some demand for either price increases or new construction of residential product for this neighborhood. Many things about a neighborhood, but the first thing most people notice is the way the neighborhood looks and its particular character. For example, one might notice whether the buildings all date from a certain time period or whether shop signs are in multiple languages. This particular neighborhood in Spokane, the Moran Prairie neighborhood, has some outstanding things about the way it looks and its way of life that are worth highlighting. In a nation where 1 out of 4 children live in poverty, the Moran Prairie stands out being ranked among the lowest of neighborhoods affected by this global issue. Okay, we are in 5 Mile here and wanted to give you a little tour of one of the other trendy neighborhoods we wanted to feature. And as you can see, I've got it on the Google Maps here. And basically the red outline there is the boundary for 5 Mile. And to kind of describe the 5 Mile area, you got basically this large plateau and you got subdivisions that sit up on here. And so what's unique about 5 Mile is it takes advantage of all the views of Spokane. So you got a lot of housing here just outside the boundaries, and then all these homes along the ridge here and going this direction all have some really nice views going to Spokane and then to the east. Another neat thing too is its proximity to shopping. To the west, you can either shoot down basically Barnes Road here, and that gets you into some quick grocery shopping. You got Safeway, you got the vet here, some small restaurants and stuff, public library, and then if you head south, that kind of takes you down into the Francis 291 corridor here, and a lot of the businesses are located along there. Some of your food, you got some middle schools, but super easy access there. And then of course, if you head over 291, head eastbound, you'll hit the main drag there on the Division corridor, which is going to give you, access to everything else, kind of some of the hot spots. Lowe's Home Improvement there, you got Tomato Street, Trader Joe's, you even got the Northtown Mall, which is one of the larger malls there for the north side, Texas Roadhouse, Crumble Cookies, some of those trendier spots. As far as homes on 5 Mile, most of the neighborhoods have been built the last 10 or 15 years, so fairly new homes up here, getting pretty close to built out. They still got some land they can develop, but for the most part, newer homes, a few little acreage homes too. Also unique, interesting about 5 Mile is, again, that proximity to Riverside State Park. It's just to the west here. So you could shoot over off Barnes, and you got lots of connecting routes to 291. But as you can see, Riverside State Park is quite large. Comes up all the way in here and comes down to the south, and it's basically adjacent to the Spokane River, hugs the river all the way up here. And one of the nice trails you can hike is the Bowl and Pitcher area there, which has also got a bridge crossing and lots of walking trails. You can take your animals for walks and enjoy a picnic out there by the Spokane River. Other notable mentions here, you've got the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex. Again, super close, but it's where a lot of the youth sports happen for softball and soccer, and then they've also got adult softball and soccer leagues too that play over there. It's quite large, quite a few ball fields, and great place to recreate. I think that was everything we wanted to feature for 5 Mile, so let's take a drive and see what it looks like, and we'll give you a feel for what you can get in 5 Mile. 5 Mile Prairie is a neighborhood on the far north side of Spokane, Washington. It is located on a prairie of the same name that is atop a bluff on the northern edge of the city of Spokane. It contains the highest elevations on the north side of the city proper. Despite its elevation, however, most of the neighborhood is relatively flat prairie land. Housing development has since been replacing the rural land in the neighborhood since the start of the 21st century. The Spokane people inhabited that area that is now known as the 5 Mile Prairie for centuries before European settlers arrived. School was built on the prairie in 1901. The bulk of 5 Mile Prairie that is within the city limits of Spokane was annexed in 1966. Additional annexations of smaller areas of land subsequently took place. The 5 Mile Prairie is almost an island of the Columbia Plateau, surrounded by lowlands cut by the Spokane River and the Little Spokane River. As a result, the 5 Mile Prairie sits on a high tableland looking over the city below. The south-facing slopes of the 5 Mile Prairie neighborhood rise about 400 feet. The hill gets higher to the north, reaching more than 400 at its apex in the neighborhood. 5 Mile Prairie is not served by the region's public transit provider, the Spokane Transit Authority. Though the 5 Mile Park and Ride, Country Homes Park and Ride, and the Fairwood Park and Ride are all located just below the 5 Mile Prairie bluff. The neighborhood does not conform to the city's street grid. Instead, it takes on a much more suburban approach with the winding roads and cul-de-sac commons. As of 2017, there were 4,691 persons living in 5 Mile Prairie across 1,524 households. 41.4% of those households had children, and 33.9% of the population was 19 years or younger, compared to 21.9% citywide. Rentals make up 11.9% of the households in the neighborhood, compared to 45.3% citywide. The median household income was $93,212. Okay, we are heading down to Shadle, which is in northwest Spokane. Hope you enjoyed 5 Mile tour there of that neighborhood, and Shadle's not far away. Get your bearings here. We just came from 5 Mile right here, and now we are down in Shadle Park. And this is kind of, the boundaries here aren't exactly Shadle. This is northwest Spokane, but pretty close. A lot of people kind of consider the Shadle area kind of right in here, if you will. Most of these homes, so pretty close. As far as commutes and stuff for Shadle, if you're working in Spokane, you can kind of get our bearings here. You've got pretty easy access, actually. You'll come down Maple and Ash all the way into Spokane. Your main route for commuting, if you've got to be in Coeur d'Alene or Spokane Valley, is going to be Interstate 90 to shoot over to Idaho. And then, of course, pretty easy grab too if you're working out at the base. or Southwest Spokane, you'll hop on Interstate 90 and head Highway 2. Can get pretty congested with traffic at the early morning, 5 o'clock, but you miss all this traffic up here that you get towards 5 Mile if you're living in Shadle there. Notable things in Shadle to consider if you're making a move looking for a home there is going to be, of course, you got the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex that we talked about in 5 Mile. But one of the big things is you got the VA hospital in the northwest section of Spokane here, which is nice for any military vets. Nice to be close to the VA hospital to save time on that. Other things to consider too, you've of course got the Spokane Valley Mall. And that's going to be over here to the west, Northtown Mall, right off Division there. That's got all your shopping needs and things if you're a big shopper. Other things here, Shadle's got a couple trendy little neighborhoods that are super popular. We get requests for a lot within Shadle is the Downriver and Audubon area here, and I'll kind of zoom in. You got Audubon Park, and what's kind of neat is you get a lot of early 1900 craftsman style homes that surround the park. Got a couple cool restaurants like the Flying Goat, and then just a really laid out neighborhood, lots of mature trees, kind of a South Hill feel, but don't have the South Hill prices down here in the Audubon Downriver area. Other things to consider too, if you're a golfer, you've of course got the Downriver Golf Course here, which is a beautiful setting right along the Spokane River, lots of pine trees throughout. You got a disc course, Frisbee disc course over here too that is near the river that's kind of fun. But again, nice location there, and you got homes that come right up to it on the golf course as well. So, and then just south of there, you can see we got Spokane Falls Community College. Not too far, quick drive if you're living over there in the Shadle area. A lot of the homes in the Shadle area, so again, going to be this section here, are built in the 50s, 60s. Get lots of big ranchers with basements. Again, lots of unique architecture. You'll get a 1950s home, and then right next door maybe a 1990s custom that they built or spec that was left over. So you got pretty good variety as you're looking into Shadle here. Shopping and things, you've got Walmart right in the heart of Shadle. And then again, real easy access over to I-90 to your main corridor for everything else. So without further ado, I think we're going to hop in the car and give you a neighborhood tour of the Shadle area and give you a feel for what some of those craftsman homes look like and some of those 50s, 60s ranchers. So we'll see you in a bit. Northwest is a neighborhood in Spokane, Washington, located in the northwestern portion of the city, largely single-family residential. Northwest is also home to Spokane's VA Medical Center, the Dwight Merkel Sports Complex, a large public sports facility, and portions of Riverside State Park along the Spokane River. The neighborhood contains developments that span from post-World War housing boom in the east to more contemporary suburban-style developments in the west. Spokane River and portions of Riverside State Park are located within the neighborhood, but extend north, south, and west from the neighborhood. Riverside State Park extends into the northwest along its western boundary on the Spokane River. The parkland here protects some of the last intact Okanagan dry forest. The Okanagan dry forest extends from just south of Spokane northwest through the Okanagan to the Thompson Plateau in British Columbia. As of 2017, there were 13,367 residents in the neighborhood across 5,513 households. The median household income was $55,709. The Northwest is served by Spokane Public Schools and is home to Westview Elementary and Brown Elementary Schools. Those two schools, as well as Indian Trail and neighboring Balboa South Indian Trail and Ridgeview, serve the Northwest. Westview Elementary serves Northwest from Francis Avenue in the north to Rowan Avenue in the south. The public Northwest is served by the Spokane Transit Authority, like the rest of the Spokane metropolitan area, with 3 fixed bus routes, bus lines passing through the neighborhood. State Route 291 passes east-west on the northern border of Shadle along the Francis Avenue, and then it's the 9-mile road. It connects to the U.S. Route Highway 2 and U.S. Route 395. All right, welcome back to my computer. I hope you enjoyed Shadle. From Shadle, we are now heading to Windermere Heights, and give you an idea of the route there. All right, so we were over here in Northwest Spokane, hopping back on 291, headed north on Division. That takes us to Windermere area. And don't really have a technical boundary here, so it's pretty large. People kind of consider the Windermere area essentially kind of this section of town here. And one of the nice things is you got the little Spokane River that essentially runs right through most of the Windermere, heart of Windermere. And lots of nice homes that border the little Spokane River. Great place for if you want to do a float with the kids or want to fly fish. Don't get a big flow of water through there like you would on the Spokane River, hence the little Spokane River for the name. But if you're fortunate enough to grab a house along the river, again, really nice settings, and can take advantage of the recreation that you can do along that river. As far as commutes and things, coming into Windermere Heights, again, hopefully previous videos we've talked about the north-south freeway and the progress there, but this is all new freeway system here that they've put in on 395, coming all the way down here. And again, eventually the plan is for that to connect to Interstate I-90, which will put a tremendous ease on the traffic if you've got to commute from working out of town there heading north. So again, they're real close to, just got more funding to continue on that project, but that's going to connect down here at I-90, kind of around Freya exit there for the north-south freeway. Notable things in Windermere that you might want to consider if you're looking to move to that area is the Windermere Golf Course is one of those. Again, we're really fortunate in Spokane that we've got, if you're a golfer, there's no shortage of golf courses, but here's the Windermere Golf Course right here, and mostly surrounded by neighborhoods. You've got a conservation area up here as well, but really nice laid out neighborhood. The freeway going north here is kind of set above it, so some nice views as you're driving, heading towards Deer Park or Canada of Windermere. Also got a gated community here that's pretty popular that we get requests for, Airway Heights. Something to consider if you're looking at that. That one's a 55 and older community. And then you've also got where Highway 2 and 395, this is kind of your shopping corridor all along here. Of course, you've got Mead High School, and then some notables. You got a Costco over here, Chick-fil-A to the south, and then they've even got a movie theater complex, I think, coming down here. Yeah, the Village Center Cinemas. So all your shopping, restaurants, you're gonna hit on 395, or you can always just cruise into town super close to Division here and hit all those shopping and restaurants that we talked about earlier in the Shadle highlight. As far as schools we touch, you got Mead School, super popular, and that's going to be one of the feeders here in Windermere. And then also you're getting into, as you head north in Spokane, you're getting into outside the urban growth boundary. That's where all the properties are mostly acreage. You're getting away from the subdivisions in part of Windermere. As you head in kind of the northwest section here, you start to get into some of those acreage and farm properties that you might want to take a look at if you're looking for a little bit of room. I think let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and jump in the car here. We'll see if we can't get you a tour here at Whitworth University. You've got some neighborhoods in Windermere Glen that are adjacent to that, but another notable that's in the Windermere area. So I hope you enjoy the drive, and then we'll talk about some market stats too that are going on right now in the Windermere area. Windermere's median real estate price is $553,158, which is more expensive than 52.3% of the neighborhoods in Washington and 76.5% of the neighborhoods in the U.S. The average rental price in Windermere is currently $2,682 based on Scout's exclusive analysis. Rents here are currently lower in price than 43.8% of Washington neighborhoods. Windermere Glen Eden is a suburban neighborhood located in Spokane, Washington. Windermere real estate is primarily made up of medium-sized 3 or 4 bedroom to large 4 or 5 bedroom single-family homes and apartment complexes. Most of the residential real estate is owner-occupied. Many of the residents in Windermere neighborhood are newer, built in 2000 or more. A number of residences were also built between the 1970 and 1999. Real estate vacancies in Windermere is lower than one will find in 72.4% of American neighborhoods. Demand for real estate in Windermere is above average in the U.S. and may signal some demand for either price increases or new construction of residential product for this neighborhood. Of note is Neighborhood Scouts research finding that Windermere neighborhood has some of the lowest rates of children living in poverty of any neighborhood in the United States. In addition, if you're an executive or professional seeking a neighborhood affording an executive lifestyle or just wanting to find where other executives live in the area, the Windermere neighborhood should be on your list. It has an inviolable mix of spacious homes, relatively stable real estate values, and residents that include a number of wealthy executive managers and professionals. Neighborhood Scouts exclusive analysis places it as one of the top 13.2% executive lifestyle neighborhoods in the state of Washington. Welcome back to my computer. We are going to zip down to Southwest Spokane and feature one of these hidden gems, if you will, if you're looking for old period homes, and that is the Browns Addition. And that is just right here. You can see the dotted lines, almost downtown Spokane, really, adjacent to it. So commute-wise, super easy if you're working Spokane. You could probably walk or ride your bike. It's that close. Let me kind of zoom in here. Also going to get super easy I-90 interstate access and quick drive to the airport. And again, one of the main reasons we wanted to highlight this neighborhood is all the cool homes in it. Most of the homes were built in the 1890s, early 1900s, and so you get lots of neat architecture. You've got the Northwest Museum of Arts and Culture that is right in Browns Addition that a lot of people enjoy a visit there. Several exhibits, outdoor summer plays. You've also got one of the museum pieces, the Campbell House, that you can take tours of. You also have the Patsy Clark Mansion wedding venue if you're looking for a cool place to get married. And then of course you've got the keynote piece, if you will, for Browns Addition, the Coeur d'Alene Park, which has got a splash pad, great place to have barbecue, picnic, right down in the heart of Browns Addition. So again, super close. You got Latah Creek to the west, Overlook Park, and then you got more parks going north, and then one of the other secret little subsidiary areas, I guess, of Browns Addition that not a lot of people know about, mainly because there's not a lot of homes ever for sale down there. It's Peaceful Valley, but you've got your Maple Street corridor that shoots up into Shadle, 5 Mile, and if you look over down, you'll see a bunch of homes down in the valley close to the river, and that's Peaceful Valley. Cool little neighborhood. One of our favorite places to meet, eat, do real estate deals, meet with friends. Frank's Diner here, kind of cool little eatery. It's basically a train that they've turned into a railroad car. They've turned into a restaurant there. Been around a long time. One of the staples for downtown. Also, with Browns Addition, they've converted a lot of these big mansions into apartment buildings. So you are going to get a lot of apartment buildings, and some of the younger generation, going to college and doing the easy commute that live down in the Browns Addition area. But definitely worth the trip, even if you're not looking at real estate, just to enjoy some of the cool homes. And we're going to give you a little taste of that here right now as we hop in the car and we're going to drive the neighborhood. So I hope you enjoy it. Love you long time.
Okay.
Okay, thanks for staying with us here to the our last featured neighborhood. I know it's been a longer video, but hopefully helpful for you in kind of narrowing things for the Spokane market on where you might want to look for a home. Our last neighborhood here is the University District that we're going to take you around and give you a feel for what that looks like. But as far as things to consider and look out for in the University District, you've got, the name speaks for itself. You've got, colleges basically that have set up campuses and down there satellite campuses. And then of course you have Gonzaga. So let me give you the boundary outlay here. You can see in red, that kind of is the University District here of Spokane. Basically Mission here to the north, and then to the south here, you've got basically all the way down to I-90. And don't have a lot of housing really much other than surrounding the Gonzaga campus. You've got mostly commercial down in here, and then of course the Spokane River splits the district here, running right through it. As far as a little touch on housing, like I said, we get a lot of requests for people that are investors, or maybe they have kids going to Gonzaga, and rather than pay rent, they're looking for investment property. Super popular near the Gonzaga campus, and this kind of area has grown quite a bit as Gonzaga grows. So, Gonzaga housing, kind of is expanded out to here and continues to grow. So if you're looking for investment, see a lot of people looking for duplexes, triplexes, even single families that they can convert to maybe a rental for college kids, or even just a good area to have a rental. So something to consider. We get a lot of, like I said, requests for that. As far as commutes and things, again, you're kind of right here down in the downtown corridor. And so, super easy commute, 5 minutes to downtown. If you're heading Coeur d'Alene, not too bad, because you're going to get right on I-90 here down at Division. One of the nice things about being in the Gonzaga district is trendy restaurants like the No Lie Brew House. You've got Dick's Hamburgers, which is down here if you're looking for a cheap, greasy burger, kind of old town milkshake burger shop. That's a good one to try. And then also in Gonzaga, they've got a bunch of trendy pubs and restaurants on the Hamilton corridor here that are neat to. You got Jack and Dan's famous pub, and then a bunch of pizza places, Mexican restaurants, that kind of thing, all along that core. One of the nice things with Gonzaga, the facilities are top notch and fun to bring the family down if you want to watch a baseball game. They've got a top-notch baseball stadium. And then, of course, the famous Gonzaga Bulldogs. They play here in the Martin Center. A little tougher to get tickets for the men's games, but when you do, quite fun to watch and exciting. University District, you've got the Washington State University WSU satellite campus up in here that kids take advantage of, some of the youth, rather than having to commute down to Pullman. And then I think, Eastern Washington, they have a satellite campus there as well. So as you come down in here, again, this is mostly all going to be commercial properties that run through the south part of the University District. So shopping, everything else super close by as you tour there. So let's hop in the car. We'll give you a tour here of what you can get in the Gonzaga District, and we'll do that right now.